Mansa Musa, a figure whose name evokes images of staggering wealth, but whose story encompasses far more than the riches that made him famous. As we learn about the life of the man who once ruled the Mali Empire, we will uncover a narrative rich in culture, wisdom, and profound influence. Mansa Musa's reign, beginning around 1312, was a golden age for the Mali Empire, not just in terms of wealth but in cultural and educational achievements as well. His legendary pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324, involving an entourage of thousands and generous distributions of gold, placed him on the global stage. But this journey was more than a display of wealth. It was a diplomatic mission that strengthened Islamic ties and showcased Mali's grandeur. But who was Mansa Musa beyond his gold? He was a man who transformed Timbuktu into a thriving hub of culture and learning, commissioning monumental buildings like the Jingwareber Mosque. He was a ruler who navigated complex political challenges, maintaining the stability of a vast and diverse empire. His life was a blend of traditional African beliefs and Islamic faith, shaping his perspectives and decisions. In today's video, we explore not just the well-known tales of his wealth, but also the lesser-known aspects of his life. We look at his contributions to agriculture, his diplomatic endeavors, and the personal hobbies and interests that reveal the man behind the crown. We'll also reflect on the profound impact of his death on the Mali Empire, and how his legacy continues to resonate through history. Mansa Musa's life began in the Mali Empire, an African kingdom rich in culture and resources. Though the exact details of his birth and early life are shrouded in history, it is believed he was born into the Keita dynasty, the ruling family of the empire. This period was marked by prosperity and expansion, with Mali's wealth built on its abundant natural resources, particularly gold and salt. Growing up in such an environment, Mansa Musa was exposed to a blend of traditional African beliefs and the Islamic faith, which had been embraced by the royal family. His upbringing in the royal court of Mali would have included education in Islamic scholarship, governance, and military tactics, all crucial in preparing him for his future role as emperor. During his formative years, Mansa Musa received an education that was rich in Islamic teachings and governance principles. He likely studied under prominent scholars and imams, gaining knowledge in religious, legal, and administrative matters. In addition to his Islamic education, Mansa Musa would have been exposed to the administrative workings of the empire, observing the management of trade routes, the organization of a vast kingdom, and the complexities of international diplomacy. These experiences laid the groundwork for his innovative approaches to governance and his ambitious projects later in life. The ascension of Mansa Musa to the throne of the Mali Empire is a story intertwined with both destiny and astute political maneuvering. In the early 14th century, the Mali Empire was flourishing under the rule of Mansa Abubakar II. However, the circumstances that led to Mansa Musa's rise were dramatic and unexpected. Mansa Abubakar II, known for his curiosity about the Atlantic Ocean and what lay beyond it, embarked on an ambitious expedition. He reportedly took a fleet of thousands of ships and sailed westward, never to return. This unprecedented voyage left a power vacuum in the empire. Mansa Musa, who was Abubakar's deputy at the time, was not a direct heir to the throne. His bloodline connection to the previous rulers of Mali is somewhat shrouded in mystery, but it is believed that he was either a grandnephew or a close relative of Sundiata Keita, the empire's founder. In Abubakar's absence, the mantle of leadership fell to Mansa Musa. His ascent to power was not merely a result of being at the right place at the right time. It was also a testament to his leadership qualities and the respect he commanded within the empire. As emperor, or Mansa, Musa inherited an already prosperous kingdom, but it was under his rule that the empire reached its peak. He was known for his administrative prowess and his keen understanding of the empire's complex economic and social structures. Mansa Musa's rise to power marked the beginning of a new era in the Mali Empire's history. His reign was characterized by remarkable political stability, economic prosperity, and cultural richness. He expanded the borders of the empire, established Timbuktu as an intellectual center of the Muslim world, and embarked on a famous pilgrimage to Mecca that showcased the empire's wealth and Musa's devout Islamic faith. The Mali Empire under Mansa Musa was the largest producer of gold in the world at a time when the precious metal was in high demand, especially in Europe and the Middle East. It is important to understand that Musa's wealth was not just in the form of personal riches, it was the wealth of his empire. The gold mines of Bambouk, Bouré, and Galam were all under his control, with an annual production that is almost impossible to quantify by modern standards. What truly set Mansa Musa apart was not just the quantity of gold he possessed, but the way he used this wealth. During his famous pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324, he traveled with a caravan that included thousands of soldiers, attendants, and subjects, camels and horses carrying hundreds of pounds of pure gold. This journey was not only a religious pilgrimage but also a display of his empire's opulence. The gold he distributed along his journey was so substantial that it caused a notable inflation in regions he passed through, particularly in Cairo, where the value of gold plummeted due to the sudden influx. Aside from gold, Mansa Musa's wealth also included extensive land holdings. The Mali Empire under his rule stretched across vast territories in West Africa, encompassing numerous cities, towns, and trade routes. This control over land and trade routes further increased the empire's wealth and Musa's personal fortune. Moreover, Mansa Musa's wealth was invested in creating lasting legacies. He commissioned the building of mosques, madrasas, and libraries across his empire, most notably in Timbuktu and Gao. These structures were not only religious and educational centers but also symbols of the empire's prosperity and Musa's commitment to Islamic scholarship. Despite his empire's wealth and power, Mansa Musa's reign was not without challenges. He faced the daunting task of governing a vast and diverse empire, with different cultures, languages, and religions. He navigated internal political challenges, including managing the ambitions of powerful nobles and maintaining the loyalty of distant provinces. Mansa Musa also had to contend with external threats, such as defending the empire's borders and maintaining Mali's position in a changing geopolitical landscape. His approach to these challenges demonstrated his diplomatic skills, strategic thinking, and commitment to the stability and prosperity of his empire. Mansa Musa's ability to overcome these adversities not only solidified his rule but also ensured the continued growth and development of the Mali Empire. Little concrete information is available about Mansa Musa's personal life, which remains a topic of intrigue and speculation. He was known to be a devout Muslim, deeply committed to his faith, which influenced his governance and policies. His relationships with Islamic scholars and architects such as Ibn Battuta and Ishaq al-Sahili highlight his dedication to fostering education and culture. These relationships were instrumental in the development of Mali as a center of Islamic learning. Mansa Musa's personal interests in education, architecture, and religion had a significant impact on the cultural landscape of the Mali Empire, shaping it into a hub of knowledge and innovation. Mansa Musa left behind a legacy that extended far beyond his wealth. His contributions to the Mali Empire and the broader Islamic world have had lasting impacts. His investments in education and architecture played a pivotal role in the cultural and intellectual flourishing of the region. The educational institutions he established continued to attract scholars from across the Islamic world long after his death. His architectural projects, particularly in Timbuktu and Gao, have become enduring symbols of the empire's grandeur. Mansa Musa's reign also left an indelible mark on the global perception of Africa, challenging contemporary notions and showcasing the continent's richness and complexity. Today he is remembered not just for his wealth but as a visionary leader who fostered a golden age of knowledge, culture, and prosperity. Here are 10 lesser-known facts about Mansa Musa. 1. Mansa Musa was a great patron of education and Islamic scholarship. He established several madrasas in Timbuktu and Gao, making the Mali Empire a center of learning and culture in the Islamic world. 2. Aside from his famous pilgrimage to Mecca, Mansa Musa also established diplomatic relations with other Islamic states and kingdoms, enhancing Mali's international profile. 3. During his reign, Mansa Musa commissioned the construction of significant architectural works, including the famous Jinguareber Mosque in Timbuktu, designed by the Andalusian architect Ishaq al-Sahili. 4. Mansa Musa's economic policies were not just about accumulating wealth. He also implemented strategies that boosted agriculture, trade, and commerce within the Mali Empire, contributing to its prosperity. 5. He is known to have introduced a series of legal reforms based on Islamic principles, which helped in maintaining order and justice in his rapidly expanding empire. 6. Mansa Musa's pilgrimage to Mecca facilitated significant cultural exchanges. He returned with several Islamic scholars and architects, which greatly influenced the cultural and educational landscape of Mali. 7. His pilgrimage to Mecca was one of the most extravagant journeys of the time. The entourage included thousands of soldiers, officials, and attendants, camels laden with gold, and his personal retinue. 8. His lavish distribution of gold during his pilgrimage reportedly caused a temporary decline in its value in regions he passed through, notably in Cairo and Medina. 9. Mansa Musa carefully planned for the succession of his empire. His efforts to educate and groom his son and successor were part of his vision to ensure the stability and continuity of his empire. 10. While deeply Islamic in faith, Mansa Musa also respected and integrated various traditional African beliefs and practices into his governance, showcasing his ability to blend different cultural aspects within his empire. These facts highlight Mansa Musa's role not just as a wealthy ruler, but as a visionary leader who significantly influenced the cultural, educational, economic, and architectural development of the Mali Empire. In concluding our exploration of Mansa Musa's extraordinary life, we must turn to the final chapter, his death, and the ensuing impact on the Mali Empire. The exact date of Mansa Musa's death remains uncertain, with estimates ranging from 1332 to 1337. However, what is clear is the profound void his passing left in the empire. On the day of his death, as chronicled by historians and oral tradition, the Mali Empire stood still. The bustling markets of Timbuktu and Gao, usually alive with traders from across the known world, fell silent in mourning. The empire, which had thrived under his rule, now faced the uncertainty of a future without its visionary leader. Mansa Musa's death could not have been prevented, as it was a natural part of life. Yet, it marked a turning point in the history of the Mali Empire. His successors, faced with the daunting task of filling his shoes, struggled to maintain the empire's prosperity and territorial integrity. This period saw the gradual decline of what was once one of the world's most powerful and wealthy empires. In the immediate aftermath of his death, the community he nurtured and led commemorated his life with a series of events that underscored his significance. Scholars and poets in Timbuktu penned verses in his honor, recounting his pilgrimage, his wisdom, and his generosity. Mosques he had commissioned held special prayers, and the educational institutions he fostered continued to teach his ideals and accomplishments. To memorialize Mansa Musa, his legacy was celebrated through oral histories that passed down through generations, ensuring that his achievements and the lessons from his reign remained a part of Mali's cultural heritage. These narratives not only honored him, but also served as a beacon for future leaders, inspiring them to aspire to his level of wisdom, piety, and leadership. Mansa Musa's death thus marked the end of an era, but his legacy lived on, influencing the Mali Empire and the wider world for centuries. His life and death remind us of the impermanence of power and wealth, but also of the enduring impact one individual can have on the course of history. As we close this chapter on Mansa Musa, let us remember him not just for his legendary wealth, but for his profound influence on culture, education, and leadership. Please subscribe for more biographies and share your reflections on Mansa Musa's life and legacy in the comments below.